Still that jar. Mine is screaming.
The moment you dominate I feel not technique. And they write some ten syllables.
Goddamn depression.
But some, I call it old fashioned writers.
Yeah, goddamn depression, man.
Okay, that'd be more interesting. Oh, really?
If I were the president of this land, I'd declare a total war on the pusherman. I'd stab him with my knife, with my gun. Yeah, with my Bible, and my razor, and my gun. Goddamn, the pusherman. Goddamn. Goddamn, the pusherman.
You're gonna read some of that. You know the dealer will sell you sweet, sweet dreams. But the pusher is a monster. You know the natural man. Warming up. It's warm inside here, or am I?
Shall we open the door a little bit so we get a little bit of air? Also, people from the street will hear us.
Yeah. Well, it is outside also warm, 13 degrees. Normally you should freeze 13 by now, you know.
That's why
Those winters are over probably.
In my head that I am translating it to actually learning how to play this. I do regret not learning to play. So I have a lot of friends who are guitarists. Watching them play with the band. That's the best way such a feel it.
Like your Christmas tree, Chris.
Yes.
It was the most expensive one, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cost me more than
Yeah, artist work.
Yeah.
So if you refresh my memory, sorry, where did we meet before? Did you make him?
I believe no, Masha is
Masha,
the artist. She also made the Christmas tree, toys, and decorations for it.
Yeah. I like it because
It's there.
That one.
I still don't have a tree, and when
Oh, is that the night that I opened up?
maybe I
Yeah.
should make the other one.
It's about a year and a half ago or something like that, maybe even longer.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, so simple. It can be so
And,
simple. Huh?
Good memory.
And, thank you. Oh, that's one thing. Well, one of the things I remember. 5 euros.
It's a piece of art.
Are you gonna be performing tonight as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna do some poems.
Great.
Yeah.
Right on.
And we're waiting for the others to
Wow.
to arrive.
Yes.
There are others.
Yes.
It's always good when there are others.
The idea.
So yeah, Renee's supposed to play with some other people. We're waiting for them.
Okay. Oh, you guys are,
Well, he's-
came here together
No, not really, but
Sometimes.
sometimes.
he plays in the band, and I was asked to perform.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Cool. Are you gonna perform with the band? Am I getting ahead of myself?
yeah,
We
you
never
are.
know what happens.
Slow down, slow down. Thank you guys for coming.
No, I won't be singing tonight.
Yeah.
No, my voice is not really
Been trying to
warmed
make
up and
money
stuff
on
like that. So.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. You should
Check
also
what we
sing.
can get.
This one, it's a unique one. You need
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
this one.
Both languages, English and Dutch.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Yes, behind the doors downstairs.
Ooh, it's a secret.
Secret place.
Take the left one. The other one is no paper.
I've heard that's
Just
quite
that
direct.
Okay. Okay, that's a good choice.
So, hello. Oh, beer arrived.
That's the response I got. That's the response I got once, that they're quite direct.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is okay. Many people joined. Hello.
Yeah, well,
hello,
most of them are
hello,
Dutch.
Hello.
Yeah.
We're having evening with
They're short
or
very long.
poetry and music, and we keep celebrating solstice,
Varies.
Varies.
the longest night a year, the darkest night a year. So,
And you have a run over the webcam. That's if it's 5.
oh, thank you. Yeah, just behind
No,
the
not
doors.
really.
No, not really.
Should go down in the freezer, I guess.
It's an inspiration. But we have
That's a good one. I mean,
No, I just got writing.
Hey,
Yeah.
what about the techniques?
Yeah. So I'll show you how it works.
I'm not sure if there is a tactic.
So
No techniques? No.
No, I just, it's mostly, yeah, mostly brainstorming, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it was the thing I discovered doing songwriting. It was the thing I discovered doing a songwriting workshop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. And it comes from your heart directly. And you have a good feeling about it.
Guess we pause live streaming for now. Hello everybody, and join us later in this evening. There will be more interesting program available.
I read it.
So ciao for now.
Yeah. I haven't finished it, but
So shall we do the live streaming?
yes.
Should we wait for Alex and Thijs?
Yeah. So we will wait for everybody. Yeah, sure. Sure. So this is the live streaming, and this is our first performer.
All right. Hello
Yeah.
there, everybody.
A lot
Are we
of
online now?
devices. Yes, we are actually.
Good evening.
So many devices.
What people always forget is you shouldn't watch your eyes, but the camera. Otherwise, it looks like you don't have contact.
And here.
I seem to forget that sometimes. You know, I shouldn't look there, but hello there, people are there.
Tell me about the cross, because yesterday we had some people already with the cross.
Well, it's Christmas, so
Yeah.
that's why.
Okay, so it's like Christmas tree decoration.
Yeah, it's Christmas decoration. Yeah, why wear the small one while it's Christmas? So
Cool.
let's make it big these
Cool.
days.
Yes, sure. So, did we offer you something to drink?
Yes, I had a great cappuccino, and now I'll wait for the
alright.
cold beer. And I saw it just arrived because Alex took the right one there. De Hertog Jan. Perfect choice. When it's
So-
cold, it's heavenly.
So tell me about your music. What are you playing?
Well, practically we steal a lot. I
Like
call
everybody
it,
does.
I call it inspiration.
Yeah.
So we just take the songs that we like,
Yeah.
we cover it, but I try to cover it in a way that nobody that they think, hey, have I heard that before? So some cover bands, they try to be exactly like the original, but then I say, what's the point? Just listen to the CD, you know.
Yeah.
So
But you know, the funny thing is that this shop is also full of photo books, which are called found photography.
okay,
And this is a similar idea that people find some sources and then they re-edit it into new, basically new
yeah,
work.
yeah.
So we have some similarities in that.
Yeah.
Definitely. So who's your favorite musician or author, songwriter?
Always difficult, of course, because almost every band has
Yeah.
something that can, even the bands that you don't like, they probably have one song that you think like, wow, why not, you know? But I think mainly rock and roll,
Of course.
Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones,
Cool.
Bowie, J.J.
We are
Cale.
publishing a book about Rolling Stones very soon.
Oh yeah? Is that a secret for
It's a
people?
secret
It's
for
a
the
secret.
people.
Well,
Nobody heard
we
it.
keep some secrets here for you. If you
No,
listen very
but-
good, you might hear
But
what's coming up.
there is it just started coming up the rock and roll photography also in this shop.
Yeah.
We love it, and it's like David Bowie and
Yeah, and because they all
Albert
die,
Zappa.
it is a revival, you know.
Yeah,
Because
it's also a
even
piece
younger
of history.
people, they read in the paper somebody dies or some, you know, and then their music is again new, of course. And we have here in Holland, we have the top 2000, so all the best songs, well, whoever says it. So all the Dutch people, they choose their favorite. We have a list of 2000 songs, and it's always Bohemian Rhapsody on one for years already now. And probably it's in other countries too, I don't know. It's these days, and from Christmas till all the new. It's they have the whole list to from 2000 till 0, of course.
Yeah.
So
No, you should, but I just
wat zing je tegenwoordig?
Nee.
Maar oké, niet veel is weinig. Want als je weinig zingt, dan zing je dat.
Okay.
She didn't say, I don't sing, huh? I never sing. So that makes me curious.
No, I don't find the laptop.
Ja, dat is wel een goeie, maar ik zie het wel.
Most of the time I use the acoustic of my bathroom, and it's always the best place to sing.
Oh, you can.
Hmm?
Oh, no, I just
Tell us.
No, I just.
Everybody wants to hear. How many
I
million
just made
people
a
are
bad
listening
comment
now or
about
watching?
this is like umbrella for the laptop because about visibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Helpful toys.
Food toys.
You need help, Chris? You need help?
No, I mean, never tried.
De kerstboom is al ontmanteld.
And meanwhile, we're having tea and having Dai Ito joining us. Hello, Dai. And Natasha. And Momoko joining us. So.
Het is jammer dat Marie er niet bij is. Ja, je weet dat ze een mooie stem heeft, maar blijkbaar is ze ziek, verkouden, ziek, zwak en misselijk, dus haar stem is ze kwijt.
Ja,
Ik moet goed zoeken. Ja, ze heeft zeker voor die paar kerstliedjes die we hadden. Die zong zij. Weet je, zoals Santa Baby. Ze mij zei niks, maar nu toen Marie het zong, dacht ik, ja.
We're still streaming. Maybe we should pause a little bit and what time do we plan to start?
And the rock,
Rock
10 minutes maybe now, I
So-
don't know.
We make in 10 minutes.
We'll be back.
Keep drinking coffee. And 19 viewers, wow.
Already? Wow.
Yeah. And we didn't even start. And we didn't even start performing. No, it's just
I only played for my mom. So
We're all
far.
there now. There now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can say what you think now. Feel free now.
yeah, I take the shelves between Daido Moriyama and Eric Kessel. My
Hey, I
place.
get the same question. People ask me if I live in the building.
So sometimes get that question in some garden, like, do you live?
Upstairs or downstairs in the back, somewhere. But you're also here at 7 in the morning.
I always find this question a little bit some kind of like into privacy territory.
Okay.
One from
Don't
one
want,
point,
don't want to.
and from other perspective, I find it a little bit like are you from authority checking on like what
Well,
is
not
illegal happening here, or I just I don't even live in this area, so
But she's still here at 7 in the morning. That is quite impressive.
yeah, I'm quite
Right,
devoted. I'm quite. We try to get in there. Yeah. Well, mostly it's 8 in the winter time, and in the spring and summertime it will be 7. Very big devotion to
on the side. It's supposed to be well outside anyway.
So you've been having any interesting gig lately?
Yeah, a few weeks ago we played in the Nuanita and the Oki.
That was good.
They were fun. Wasn't so busy.
Okay, with the band or what?
Yeah, with the band.
Oh shit, I should have known.
No, I say that we had a €6 entrance fee and we made €60.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
All friends and family.
no. And then I say all the 15 people who were there were dancing. So
That's
So how did that competition thing in for you? You guys were in some sort of
competition.
I don't. Weren't you with the band in some? I remember somewhere over summer you said like we had a hell of a lot of gigs in a short period because we're like.
Oh, that was
Competition or
almost
tour or
2 years ago with the Popronde.
Oh, that's 2 years ago already.
Yeah, that's not that's not a
Is getting worse and worse.
It's not per se a competition. It's just
Oh,
bands. You sign up for it, and then they choose somewhere around 140 bands, which is a bit too much, I think. And then out of those bands, then starting from October or in September through November, from Thursday till Sunday in different cities throughout Holland, is the Popronde.
Yeah.
So, and then they have local coordinators for every city who try to place as many bands in as many different locations as possible. So it could be anywhere from a regular concert hall to a laundromat or a bookstore, or a hair salon, whoever is game for having a band or performers in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of fun. It's just tough because there are more recently Popronde exists. Not exactly how many years, but exists for a while now. But every year it seems that more and more booking agencies have more and more influence over which bands are chose. And then the whole game, the idea behind Popronde is that a new band can then learn the experience of what is it like to have a show booked, how do you handle preparations for that show, communication with the venue, getting everybody in the car or the band together, getting there, unloading, troubleshooting, playing the show, entertaining, and then packing it all up and leaving, and then having to do. So you learn how to be a band.
To tour and
Yeah.
It's just a hard ass tour.
But nowadays, it's hard for bands that are not busy with what falls into the sort of stroming, the stream of what is happening in Dutch music, to get shows or to have people book them. So the more out there, eccentric,
eigenzinnig.
bands have a harder time getting shows. Where bands that sort of play the standard garage rock or electro pop or stuff, some bands I know they get around 30, 40 gigs. It's 44 cities, I believe, which is great for them.
Yeah.
But then there are other bands who get 3 or 4 shows. And I don't think that sucks. It sort of defeats the purpose, in my eyes, of what the purpose should serve to the bands.
Yeah, so basically big business is just like taking it over as a showcase for them again.
To a certain extent, yes. But other ways, I mean, it is what it is. That's how these things develop a lot of times.
Yeah.
But for us, it was great. We did 11 shows, and it was great fun to go to all these different cities that you possibly have never been to before, and you play in, certain places. We played in a pub, and then another place we played in a cafe where, there were maybe 5 people listening and 50 people just sort of picking their nose, busy with it. Didn't even pay attention. And then you get to a certain place where you have no expectation, and 2 minutes before you're supposed to play, the place is empty. And then the moment you start playing, it packs, it fills up, and you're like, yes. And you're playing, and then all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, it files out because people are going to see another band. So it's nice that people can sort of hop around the city and see as many bands as they want on a night. So, it's got its pluses and its minuses, like everything. But I think it's still a great way for people to discover new music in Holland, and bands have an opportunity to perform for people, to get themselves out there.
And how exactly does it work, like the whole system?
Bands sign up for it,
Yeah,
and then there is a panel, a selection panel
yeah,
of people in the know in the industry who then select the bands.
yeah.
And then, so that also is sometimes if you look at people choosing the bands and you think, well, if you, okay, you know, they can be sort of in the stream of what's popular music or more popular and not from the outer fringes of, say,
Yeah.
creativity.
And who selects the bands?
They do.
Okay.
So they vote, they
The
sort of,
administration of this project.
the Popronde, they choose then the
Yeah.
sort of selection committee.
Okay.
And then say if people are more prone towards rock music,
Yeah.
then they're given the bands that are the rock bands to choose from. And so it's more known for their involvement in the dance scene, electronic music or hip hop music. Then
Yeah.
they're given the bands to select from.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know the people who run it, and they
So it's kind of
really have their
agents.
heart into it. What?
So they are kind of agents. They represent
No.
collectives.
They're not per se agents. Some, well, in the selection committee, some of the people might work for booking agencies or might work for a radio station, or you know, they might have a bigger foot in the door of music business per se here in Holland. And then you have, well, it's funny, you know, a lot of bands who have played years ago, maybe in Popronde, and they played in bands, and now they go on to run a booking agency or work for a bigger booking agency. So they have that tie in with the Popronde. So they are able to more possibly exert a little bit of influence to
Yeah.
have certain bands promoted. But I mean, in like any industry, that's the way it goes. So
You get some experience, would you say? When you have 11 gigs, is it in different cities?
it was in different cities. So say if you say on the first night is always in Nijmegen, and that's where it's based out of.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's somewhere in the beginning of October. So say on that Thursday night it begins in Nijmegen, and the next night it could be in Delft, and then that's Friday, and then Saturday it could be in Wageningen, and on Sunday it's in Venlo, and then they have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then it picks up again in different cities.
Yeah.
So yeah, in a certain week you can, if you have back-to-back shows, you can play one night in Groningen and the next night in Venlo.
But only one gig, one night, one place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a gig of 1 or 2 hours, or
No. Anywhere between half an hour, mostly 45 minutes.
Mm.
You know. No, it's not like, because usually you're playing alongside possibly 2 or 3 other bands. Sometimes you're the one band in a venue, and sometimes you're on a showcase.
Yeah.
So you really have to respect other people's times, because everything's on a time schedule. So if they say, okay, you got a half an hour, then it's sort of like, you got 20 minutes to build up, you got a half an hour show, you got to get in there and puzzle it out. A lot of times you're able to then share a backline with the other bands, which is nice, because it also teaches you how to communicate with other musicians.
It's part of reality how it works.
Yeah, and then you make friends, and it's fun to see bands. You're playing maybe alongside them in 1 week, and then 3 weeks later again. So it's fun to see how everybody progresses.
And you did it with your band last year.
Not this previous fall, but the one before that.
No.
So 2 years.
Would you do it again? Is it something that you say, hey, interesting?
Yes and no. It's because sometimes it is frustrating when you're booked to play in a place where they're like, you show up and they're like, and you're like, hey, yeah, with the band we're playing here tonight, and they're like, oh, is that tonight?
Oh yeah.
You know,
You did all your effort to get there, and then what are you doing here?
and certain venues are more generous than others in the way they treat you. You can get paid decently. I mean, we earned enough money that we were able to pay for our first album with it.
Mm-hmm.
So anywhere between 100 and 175 euros maybe for a show.
Okay, for every night.
Mostly, I think that was the range between what we were paid on the gigs. You know? And for a beginning band, I think that's great. You know, you got to pay your travel expenses, your parking, but still, it's
So at the end, it's zero.
Yeah, you got to save. It's for the love of the game.
Yeah.
You know, if you like playing and performing for people and you want to get out there, then you just more or less you go. You know, I don't really worry about the. For me, if they pay your travel expenses and they give you a few drinks and they, you know, if there's a backline there, so you don't have to bring everything.
Yeah.
That always helps. You know, and then the money is usually an added bonus.
But still, do they expect you to bring a backline also? So
Different. It depends. Some venues actually arrange a backline because it's easier, it's quicker.
Yeah.
And the pulp ronde itself, the coordinators in the city will help to do that because I do it every year in my shop as well when it happens in Harlem. One of the rules is you're not allowed to play in your own city. So if you're in a band and like when we were playing, we weren't allowed to play in Harlem. So whatever city you're written in as, like Harlem is our home base, you can't play there. So,
and why is that?
because it gives space for other bands.
Yeah.
You know.
It's too easy to play home for friends and.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
every open space for a band from outside of that city to play is an opportunity.
Yeah.
That just that's their rule, and I think it's fair rule.
You know. Yeah, some logic in it.
Yeah. So and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, but would I do it again? I don't know.
So once in a life experience.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's meant for. I know a number of people do it with different projects. Like you're in band for a while, and then that band ends, and then they start a new project, and they go, they do it again with that project.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. You know, but to do it with the same band more than one time, I think that is also taking opportunities away from other people.
You living?
Yeah.
No, I'm just going outside.
Yeah, it's of course for new bands to get acquainted with and for the audience.
Yeah.
So yeah. So probably they won't select you next year because they see your name the second time.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if they actually have a policy about everything. Nope, sorry. I don't know. But I do think they like the idea that they have recurrent people who have done it once come back with a new project. You know, and it's to keep it. Yeah. I mean, we got in there, I think, based on the fact that I do a lot of, I do shows for the football in my own store.
Yeah.
And I did hosting for them on a few events. I hosted, do MC work. So they knew me already. So then when I said I was coming out with my own project, they're like, oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm spoken word with live music. Oh, great. We don't have that. So they were also sort of had my back and helped. Since I knew them personally, when I called them and say, "Hey, we're only got like 6 shows already. What's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, we'll make some calls." You know, they put their heart into it. And they do a lot of hard work. I mean, the guys who run it, and the girls who run it, they're almost in every night in a different city for 3 months. You know,
3 months. Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah. What's the name of your band?
The Irrational Library.
The Irrational Library.
Everything I do is under that name. So I have a store under that name, and a band under that name, and a small press under that name, and sort of like
Sounds good.
an umbrella.
That's a good name. Yeah, umbrella for the music. Hey, ben je daar? De rockgod. Ja, goed hoor. Ik noem hem geen heet, anders vind ik het prima.
Hey,
Hey, Josh.
nice to meet you.
Hi. Nice to meet you, Alex.
Hoi.
Nee.
Oh
my God.
Erik.
Nou, ja.
Ja, zeker.
Lekker warm hier.
Ja, zeker.
Oké.
Hot. Heel goed. Zo, we kunnen beginnen hoor jongens. Ik zei een half uur geleden dat ze over 10 minuutjes zijn. Die jongens nog wel.
Dat is een liefde.
Ja, natuurlijk. Ik ben het vergeven omdat ik mezelf anders niet kan vergeven. Hè?
Yes. And you play this band, or?
Well,
I expected it a little bit bigger, but it's nice.
you're too big for this place. Huh?
Yeah.
Normally,
Looks like a
We had Maria, singer, Marie, and but she's sick, sore throat, and she's got a beautiful voice. So, but we'll try to save the night. Kijk eens aan. Kijk eens aan.
Your voice wasn't that bad either.
Yeah.
Your voice wasn't that bad either.
Thank you, thank you.
Hi, Melanie.
En wat gespeeld in
Hey, hey, leuk dat je het zien gaat. Ik ben wel blij dat je belde. Ik tel dat deze Dennis is, die van beter.
Hallo.
Hi,
Melanie.
Hallo. Ja, dat is ons moment.
Zijn jullie ook op de Mercato geweest?
Ja.
Jullie volgen, dat heet een road.
Nee, ik doe niks nuttigs.
Nee, niet.
Ja, hoe is het
Stemboys.
Maar toen zei ik ook van nee,
Ik kom hier voor een bier, jongens. Valt wel mee.
De hele bak zijn.
Ik ken de naam, maar zo. Nee, ik was ook verdwaald hier. Het is zo'n bekende plek, maar...
Zo laat zijn we niet eens.
Ja, beneden.
Ik denk hoe lang we erover hebben gedaan.
Dit is deze plek hebben we
Oh,
nog.
we hebben ook. Waar gaan we naar?
Yeah, I didn't know there was a live stream. So yeah, like I've been filmed before doing performing, but that was not live. So
So less painful.
that was no, but that was less exciting.
Ja, dat is
Je zou ook in chic gaan, sorry. Dat is een muziek t-shirt.
Ja, soilstice.
And the guy who was filming was a friend of mine, so that was also good. But I still need to publish that on Facebook.
Inderdaad, toen de paus
You
No, I got it, and that's
stored it.
no, I saved it, but it's yeah.
nou niet van klein.
No, but yeah.
Nee, doe het.
One poem is public, but because that was part of the event, and but not all poems.
Ik zou zeggen, laten we het dezelfde is volledig meestal
Nee, ik weet wel wat ze bedoelt. Ik ben ook echt zwaarloos.
Ja. Met deze akoestiek dus.
Nee, maar als je met de
Ja, omdat jullie jaren ook weer. Ja.
Oh ja, heb je al zo'n heel
Nee, het valt mee, want ik heb al hard visjes dus.
goed.
Ik zal eens kijken.
Ik zag net een nieuwe krant.
Rode wijn, witte wijn, steak, koffie, bier.
Ja, precies. En dan kan je.
Oh, wauw.
Ja.
Er is één beetje die.
Ja, heb jij een directe lijn met die cameraman?
Richard.
Ja, heb jij een directe lijn met hem? Ja, maar hij riep ons om te checken of we de juiste adres van zijn bijbehorende richting.
Hier staan.
Dus jij nog een exacte locatie kunt geven en hij zou het zien, dan maakt het uit. Ja, die zijn van mijn vrije tijd. Gewoon dat ik al meteen zagrijnig word omdat ik ben niet anders aan het doen.
Ja.
Dus nee, ik heb hem uitgezet. Achter mijn computer zie ik, ja. Maar als hij het zo bedenkt als ik, dan lees hij het dus niet. Nee, maar... Ja, je weet nooit. Nee, precies.
Yeah, sort of like when I saw those behind the skirts of
Oké, die heeft een opgave die juiste richting gestuurd. En als hij hier ergens rondrijdt. Ja, maar waarom ik het nog niet had gezien? Ik dacht een beetje, nee, maar ja, niet meteen, ik heb het zo'n keer warm staan, hè. Dat ik ja, maar je sleutel van je huis had gegeven, te branden druk van jou, dus dat zegt helemaal niks.
Impression of 10 fucking close of beer. I don't think I get my cycle from 5 p.m. You do? That's okay. Yeah, then it's sort of hard to follow the GPS when you're trying to buy your house. Sorry to say, I saw a young girl. Ja, het is Engels.
Nou, doe mij nog maar een drank.
No lie.
Ja, en daarna ook weer wat. Als ik moet zingen heb ik gewoon wachten.
What are you doing here? What is it?
Yes.
Looking
sure.
for what
Wat
is
denk
that?
je? Zelfs als je het niet doet, het maakt mij geen uit. Ja, nee. Dan wel luisteren, maar ja.
En dat is allemaal things.
Zeker.
What is their design of
Yes.
actually see them on? That's true.
Always.
So,
Always.
including everything on the plate.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you receive on your email?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yes.
In the band and you're donating. Wow. Yeah. That's I know. Wow.
But I always introduce the song by saying,